The fear of missing out, or FOMO, as some people like to call it. I'm sure you felt it at some point or another in your life, because I definitely have. But I feel like I've dealt with it quite well, and hopefully in today's video, I could provide some valuable advice and experience on how to deal with it. Firstly, let me discuss my experience of fear of missing out. Well, when I left school in year 11, in the UK as they call it, a lot of my friends went to sixth form and a lot went to college and eventually to uni. Well, I didn't do either of that. Now, I knew I always didn't want to go to uni or college, something I was very sure about from an early age because I was pretty much done with the education system as soon as I could get the chance to leave it. But it wasn't very easy to go out on my own and begin my own path. I went out and got an apprenticeship at 16. Instead of following what my friends did, going to uni and college. And that was really difficult for me. Resisting that fear of missing out of the college life, the uni life, the sixth form life. In all the group chats, all my friends were still messaging about what just happened at school that day at sixth form and what's happened at college and who's doing what and the latest gossips, the latest parties. My friends made new friends who I had no idea who they were. I did feel a little bit left out. I did feel a bit of fear about that. It was very difficult, I missed out on a lot of parties, core memories. These things aren't easy to accept. These things aren't easy to accept that, yeah, I'm gonna miss out on this stuff. But I think it's important to realize why we're missing out on this. I missed out on it because I went out and got a job. I started my working life. I started a career, started earning money, and that allowed me to buy my first car. I was the first of my friends to buy my first car. And then I brought a second car shortly after, which is a project car. So I brought a classic Mazda MX-5. It's a 1997. So I'm very much into my cars. So I started off that, and that sort of put things in perspective for me because I didn't have this knowledge of navigating fear of missing out. I sort of just worked my way through it. From working my way through it, I've realized that, actually there is a reason why you put yourself through that because, like I say, I got my car before all my friends. I got my second car and then I began putting my money together and started saving for a house way before any of my friends had got their first job. I think it's interesting to talk about how FOMO can influence decisions. Fear of missing out can make you do things that you wouldn't normally want to do, like going to that party that you didn't really want to go to. I'm sure you've had a time in your life where you've been out with your friends, and especially us gamers who sort of like our routine and quite happy chilling at home playing our Xbox. And you've been out at that party and you're thinking, right, I just want to go home now. I want to call it a night. But your friends push that little bit further and then you get involved in something that you didn't necessarily want to get involved with. Or you end up getting in trouble or doing something that could put you in trouble. It's something that you didn't really want to be a part of. But that fear of missing out, that fear of going home and missing out on a great memory put you in that bad situation. And I think it's really interesting to realize how fear of missing out influences decisions you make. It could have influenced the decision I made. Luckily it didn't. I'm happy with the way things have planned out, should I say. Getting my first job allowed me to get my first car and shortly after my second one. That wouldn't have happened if I gave in to that fear of missing out. I guess the worst example of my FOMO and when I've sort of let it take a hold of me is on Fortnite. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys have played Fortnite watching this video. I'm sure if you're between the ages of 15 to 20, you've definitely played Fortnite. And you've definitely played it in the prime era. The prime era of the item shop being and spending your parents' money on items in the shop. That whole design is based on fear of missing out. Fear that the item may never return again. The classic school trooper skin to be one of them. I think everyone was a victim of buying that when it came back out. Because you don't want to miss out. You don't want all your friends to have something that you don't. And I think this brings me on to my next point of how fear of missing out is really capitalized on, and especially in the corporate industry in video games. Whether it be Call of Duty with the new battle passes, you know, one-time skins that never come back again. But I think the game that really did it was Fortnite. And I think that's the time in my life where I was quite at a vulnerable age, really, you know, between the ages of 13 to 15, maybe a bit younger, but I couldn't help but spend my parents' money on that skin because I was so scared that I'd never get to see it again, never get to buy it again. Sometimes we didn't even like the skins, we just brought them because we didn't want them to be rare and miss out on the chance. I think it's really terrible how companies play on this though, and it's not addressed much in society, the fear of missing out and how it influences people. And I think it's something really dangerous that we don't talk about enough. However, I think there's a difference between missing out and losing out. Often when you miss out on something, you gain somewhere else, such as discipline, freedom, or growth in a skill set, such as my apprenticeship. I went for the slow burn. I didn't follow the crowd instantly. I chose my own path carefully and resisted that fear of missing out. And I want you guys to think now. Are you following a path just because that's the way the crowd's going? Are you doing what you're doing right now for fun? Are you doing it because you're afraid that you'll miss out on memories? Or are you doing something now that's going to make your future self proud? I think social media plays a big part in FOMO too. Seeing someone else's highlight though doesn't mean you're behind in your life. It means you're on your own path, and your own journey, and you've definitely got time. I've actually made a video discussing this, so if you're interested in it, I'll leave a link on screen now. But let's talk about how to combat FOMO. A way I've liked to do it is by journaling my progress. It's something I've started probably for about 2 years. I've been doing it now, I'd say. And I've realized it's really helped me because putting my thoughts down on a piece of paper made me realize that I am making a lot of memories. When I'm recalling back to what's happened each day, I'm realizing that. And it's helping me remember my long-term goals and realize I am slowly working towards achieving them. So if it's something you haven't done before, I definitely recommend trying it out, because it just helps to get your thoughts down on a piece of paper. Journaling has also helped me realize that fear of missing out isn't just in socials or video games, it's in life. Missed job opportunities, relationships that haven't worked out, or just not living life fast enough, feeling like you're falling behind. When I'm writing this down, I'm starting to realize that there are bigger things in life that is causing that fear of missing out. It's important to realize that you don't have to do everything right now, and you are in this for the long run, and there's power in moving at your own pace. Don't feel like you're ever falling behind. Don't feel like there's some sort of big thing that you're going to miss out on, because there's not. There's just not. Fear of missing out is just your mind playing tricks on you. Don't let it control you and force you into things that you don't want to do. And I think that's a really important message to take away from today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to drop a like, comment down below something that you might have gone through that you think might be valuable for someone else to learn from, or comment something that you're struggling with and I'll respond to you and see if I can provide some insight that you might not have thought of, because fear of missing out gets to all of us, and it's definitely got to me before. Hopefully this video has helped you guys a little bit, and if it has, then that's great, and that's all I could wish for. Anyway guys, it's been Jxey. If you made it this far, you're an absolute legend. Stay awesome.